Welcome to the APL Spotlight series. Incredible guests the world over with insights meant to help us expand or at least to let go of thinking a little bit to be in the heart. It's an offshoot of the APL show, which is 330 shows strong from January of 2023 all the way into mid 2026. We're going to two shows in 2025, down from three, just to spread things out a little and let the algorithm get us some of our audience back from 2023. I'm glad that you could be here. I love having guests back who are super special, super open, who can open openness itself. And that just means letting go of thinking to be in the heart and to flow. Today's guest is coming to us from California, the Berkeley area. She's wonderful. She's been on all the big shows. She's a big time author. She studied physics at Berkeley, but today it's all about transformation, consciousness, the universe, and we'll just say openness. I like that. She's a transformational guide and speaker, best-selling author, Cynthia Sue Larson. Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much, Michael. It's such a joy to be with you as always. And I love the little behind the scenes work we do together too. Really
Yeah,
sets the stage, tunes us in. Love it.
I love giving guests the chance to
Mm.
catch at least a little bit of lit sage or interact with the universe directly. That's direct feeling, seeing, and hearing. And I think everyone has a big heart, almost, on the planet and can do it if they just relax about it a little bit.
It's a great way to start any activity. And I think people could I think we could bear with some reminders that before anything, anytime we get together with another, it's a great idea to join in that kind of meditative presence, to be aware in advance of the respect that we're giving to that relationship. Because it feels to me that humanity as a whole right now, if you look at the way things seem to be going, it looks like it's fragmenting a little bit, but we can pull it back together. It can be stronger than society's ever been. And I feel like there's a huge invitation, and I love how you're such a big part of that, really embodying that. And it's even behind the scenes, so it doesn't even show up yet. Here it is. I think it's palpable. So,
I love it. What we'll do is actually consider, with your permission, three steps. I'll light sage, I'll put up one angel joy, and I'll put up either a Syrian, Lyrian, Arcturian, or two of those three. But the sage, anybody can catch the scent of through two screens. I've done it as a guest on about 65 shows in the last 2.5 years, and then 90% of my guests do it on the show. So tune in if you think you need extra help. Set your intent like anything else if you're getting on the track to do a workout or write your book or just hug your
mhm.
dog, have a good cup of tea. And that's just, hey, universe, get me out of my head, into my heart, and help me smell sage. Thank you. Amen. Rock and roll. Cynthia, are you already getting a little bit of sage in California?
Love it. Yes.
And people at home, you can ask for flowers and ocean if you want to go extra. There's always more. And that's why expansion and growth doesn't stop. I'll put up one angel and she can give us a reminder through you, Cynthia, for all of us how to slow our roll, like you just did for us at the outset. And here's Joy. What does she have as a reminder for us all?
I'm feeling joy, of course. But there's so much more that it seems like it's that invitation to be childlike and have that true sense of open mind, open heart, wonder that we were born with, and it's our birthright. And that can be a place of growth and expansion and openness. So it's a reclaiming of the true identity of our infinite eternal soul. Love it.
And for the final one, would you like the Arcturian, Syrian, or Lyran?
I love all of them. I feel like for the group for humanity, I feel like the Syrian is really helpful right now. It's a combination of factors for that.
So this Syrian, you don't have to know the name
Mm.
from Sirius. Not trying to be too serious here, but she's just a loving figure. And if anybody wants to close their eyes, see her in your mind's eye with a green flowing outfit, a lot of pinpoints of light around her. And if you want to think the lushest, greenest forest somewhere, that's her. And she has a message for humanity that Cynthia is going to be gracious enough to relay.
Yeah, she does. This is the one that was the most active with the message. Just pausing so we can all feel it. This is the most important thing, to have that direct one-on-one relationship and connection, knowing that we're capable of having that connection to this being, that we're celestial family, that we're all one together. that we may seem very different, but this is a time of reclaiming. It feels like lost family connections. They're not really, they've never been lost, but they've been um, set aside for a while, and now they're returning. We're going to see more and more of this return coming soon. And to know that this is something that's been looked forward to with anticipation and joy and a sense of unification, that there's a true sense of, I don't even have a word for it. It just feels like coming back together, like finding something that you did that you've always felt like it was missing. A lot of us feel like we've been missing our true home, and it feels like true home is coming back through these true connections. And to welcome and know that in our hearts, even if it makes no logical sense, is what she's bringing us right now because she's feeling it so much.
And if you want to see a pinpoint of light consciousness, and this will be beyond words, just let it come into your field, whether it's the heart, shoulders, neck, head, forehead. It's just a very gentle, like poof of love. But where did you get it?
I got it my third eye, the Anya chakra. Like poof, like whoa.
And
I,
would you like the Arcturian or the Lyran next?
um, well, Arcturian was the one that came to mind first, so we'll go with that.
Okay.
They're both great. You're making it tough on me today, Michael.
Oh, and anybody wondering about Arcturians, just if you've ever watched 1960s Star Trek and Spock was pretty sharp, he had only a three-tier, I think, chessboard. This would be like 150 to 1,000 tier chessboard, and they're super love. So gentle, gentle, gentle. We're not talking violence or sci-fi movies or anything. Um, a sweetie, but when they try to hack human humor, sometimes that's the punchline first, joke second. So
Yes.
not always a success. And what's he have as a, is he laughing at all? No, he's not going to laugh at that. He's like, hey, we try.
He's doing the best he can to show us the lay of the land and where things are going. He knows humans want to know, but it's a difficult thing to translate it from his point of view to ours. He's counting on each and every one of us humans who are coming together right now, the front wave, to help each other, to help the other humans. He's saying that each one of us has the ability to reach others and teach and to share, and that we are the ones that understand this awakening that's happening. And it's up to us now, but he'll be there, of course. He understands there's a huge gap between the way he sees it and the way we see it. He's doing the best he can.
Oh,
He's not laughing, but I'm laughing. Like the whole punchline thing is hilarious. Yeah.
and this is a passage from Angels that's in the appendix of my Little Listening to Angels book. I saw Balls of Light as I was typing 10 years ago in 2014. I think it's been number two twice on Amazon. I don't think any number two best-selling author can claim being number two twice. So here's the headline. Why is being the key to all of this? Being is believing in all. You do not need to be like anyone else. Be you. Smile more, think less. Do not permit others to dictate your well-being. Own your own being in life. Love more and allow more. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Again, this is why it's not about words or concepts, which are often just another form of egoic thinking. Always keep releasing so as to not allow walls to be rebuilt, ego. What to release exactly is never that important. Those are mere details. Keep releasing. Ego
Mhm.
likes to judge everything and build walls. Ego likes to offer knowing as a form of false security. Step away from this and return to a peaceful life. Follow your path in life one step at a time. Enjoy it. Let go of perfectionist or defined behaviors such as roles. Embrace the awesome life given to you and each one of us. Just be. Listening to everything, for everything around you is always, or listen to everything, for everything around you is always your instruction. Love isn't everything. Open your eyes to find love. There's only one life, not two. Be in the moment. Compassion is within all too. There are just many levels of awareness in man. Everyone can grow.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, it's important to soak that in, and it goes deep. I think I don't even know where to start with that. It's so beautiful. It could be just excerpted and saved and just repeated. It could be an awakening mantra. It's a great way to start the day. I love to start with how good can it get, but that was right there. Just all about that being. And I love the relationship and everything's talking to us. That's so true too. When we have difficult choices, you can look into the choices themselves and ask, where are they going? What do they need? What are they sharing? That conversation is possible when we slow down like we did with this interview at the beginning. And it feels like that's the key to not get caught up in old cycles and old patterns of fearfulness and reactionary emotional patterns of drama, which humanity has absolutely been teaching. We've been teaching our societal members to do that. We've been teaching it's okay and it's good to be a victim and to be the greater victim. It sounds ridiculous to say it that way, but when you see like that's what's been taught to us, then we can transcend that. We can recognize that doesn't make any sense. And we can even look at evil, so-called evil, and recognize that these are just detours going off the path, succumbing to distractions that seemed tempting at the time. And we, each and every one of us, can make that choice to not take any detour distractions into any of the so-called deadly sins or Buddhist torments. And by making such a conscious choice, we can also end up in that beautiful, blissful being. So I'm presenting this as another way for those who are thinkers, not so much feelers, and they feel like, okay, I want to do something in the thinking way. And it may still sound a bit woo-woo, but I actually do this. I choose intentionally not to be swept up in any of if you wonder what are these torments I'm talking about, it really is things like envy. So if you find yourself envying someone else or wishing that you were playing a role, I love how you brought that up, or any of these other silly going off track pursuits, you can realize, hopefully, oh, wait a minute, this envy is not who I am. This is it's like you can tell when it's happening. It's like something trying to grab onto you. And if you just make that choice, I'm choosing to let go of any foothold, any link I have to envy or greed or sloth or any of these things. I can't remember all this deadly sins offhand, but the point is release from them and do it consciously. Just know, like, I'm not going to get caught up in any of that because that's not who I am. And I know who I really am. Then this gives us the ability to be fearless, to fully access that heart energy, and to do so in more of a mental approach for those who are more thinkers than feelers.
Oh, I love it. I have another photo of four archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, in light energy form. Three more are off camera. I cropped them, but there's Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Can we get a little addition to what you just said? They've got something to add that's similar.
Yeah, we'll get support that we need. And you can tell the true support because it's non-judgmental. If you're feeling like you're getting some kind of support and there's judgment attached, that's not the true support team. Because they're not going to make it worse. They're not going to throw gasoline on the fire. You'll know that they've arrived when suddenly they're so patient and they can keep reminding you of something that in the thick of it, like I've forgotten sometimes. I would get angry at various things and I would turn to this team and say, "What do you do when you get angry?" Because I know you guys have gotten angry, and they would say, "You give it to Creator, Absolute God. You just give it, let go of it. You can totally release it." It sounds so obvious, but that team is here to remind us constantly, without getting impatient ever, of what may seem obvious to us. Because I started getting embarrassed that I have to keep repeating the same question. Like I know I've asked this before. When I'm in the thick of it, I can't remember. How do I get rid of this? And you can release it. So they're here as part of the support team. They will help us do what we need to do as we're learning, and they'll carry us until we learn, like, okay, now I've got that. Like now I remember if I get angry, oh, right, I know what to do. But there was a period of time that I kept forgetting. So they'll carry us, they'll help do whatever needs to be done until we're able to carry it ourselves. And there's such a wonderful support team, totally there for you, for each and every one of us, and they support the best for all concerned. So they're not choosing sides. They are all in for all that is, for the absolute, the true connection to divine source, God, that each of us is capable of regaining, because we never lost it. But sometimes some of us are feeling cut off a little bit, or we think we've lost it. Nobody can lose it. And this is the team that can help you bring it back. And they're here for you. They're here for all of us.
I love it. My phone didn't stop moving between my photos when I put it down. So it ended up on a Angel named Heather, who I'll put up the physical photo first because I'll find a different photo. She makes hearts in her photos, and I've seen her as a human in Sweden, New York, Vegas, Austin, and Maui. Maui, she was a Portuguese ballerina taking time off from life surfing, and I'm a bodyboarder. Anybody knows those sports. Surfers don't talk to bodyboarders or hang out and stuff
Mm.
like that. So here's Heather, and here's something from her that's actually a heart sideways in my backyard above a Japanese torii. Oh, and my phone never stopped moving. Wow, crazy.
Super cool. That's beautiful.
And here's something from her to add to the mix. And here she is another way.
Wow.
And what does she have as a reminder for everybody?
Oh, yeah, we are love. We're here to love everyone. This is the true key to everything. And no matter how you may think you feel about someone, the truth is always just pure love. And you'll know you're back on, you're fully connected and you're on full track when you know that. And when you feel this being in love with everyone, everything, being in love with life, that connection, it just radiates right off of you. And that's true bliss. It's I don't have words for it. It's so awesome. And it hooks us up to our path forward. It's the if you're whatever it is you think you're worried about, whatever you're concerned about, whatever you think you don't have, this is the gateway that opens it. It also opens all the connections to the relationships that matter so much. That's what we're really here for. What we tend to keep forgetting is that we're here for relationships with each other, with plants, with animals, with our star family, with the earth, with the cosmos. And if we don't have that, then we feel lost. But this compassion, this love, this opens everything back up. And then you realize, I never lost it. This is heaven on earth. This is the golden age. This is me being who I really am and feeling the truth of just being purely myself. It's the joy of being, like that beautiful thing you read, with that radiant love just bursting forth from that heart center and recognizing this is who I really am. It's just like I'm full on brightness and radiance. And by being this, I can activate all my relationships. It's a gift to everyone you're connected with, and they will feel it, even if they don't yet understand it, even if they might think it looks weird or whatever. They love it. They love it anyway. And it's like catnip to cats. It's the gateway of the opening of the golden age. And this is the invitation to each of us to not be afraid anymore, to not be caught up in the drama, to recognize that we are transcending all of the divisions. And no matter what it looks like, because we can get confused if we look at the news or listen to certain things. Uh, this is an inner knowingness and an inner beingness, but it's just a tremendous radiance. Compassion is the key for humans. This is like the key word. I was getting that today too, and it was very strong. It seemed like there'd been some people may feel compassion was intentionally shut down, and I know it may look that way, but the truth is that it's impossible to shut it down, and that ultimate goodness is percolating and bubbling forth. It just can't be stopped. It's unstoppable.
I have five or six very quick definitions of compassion. I think if you use angels or beings of light or
Yeah.
galactic beings to define compassion, we could be here for 10 years with no two answers being the same if you did 100 questions a day and 100 different figures a day. When you're unconditional love, you have an amazing vocabulary. Okay, what is compassion about? Jesus said, like in 2012 or so, open eyes and open heart. Raphael said, compassion is releasing fears and judgments. I'm going to get your reaction and to add to this in just a second. Abe, the Abraham of old, angel on everyone's team, grandfatherly figure, said, compassion is not judging, taking action with no thought. And two more. Dale, an angel, said, compassion is just being and trusting the outcome to be of the highest intent for all. And Matt, don't call her Mackenzie, another angel who's all about plants, animals, nature. Compassion is treating every moment with the awareness of a newborn baby. What's your
Yeah.
reaction?
Well, I feel like they're all touching. It's like the blind man and the elephant. It's kind of like we're all trying to get there. We're doing our best. Those are good efforts. I feel like, yeah, they're describing it. an aspect of it, and it's still so much more. It's like describing God. It's like describing compassion. It's almost ephemeral. It's so multidimensional. But it's so simple. So it's frustrating. It's kind of like there should be the word compassion. It's like a diamond that's got facets all over the place, and it's just so blazingly bright. And so none of those were wrong. Those were all completely correct, and they're just brilliant. And they're describing the brilliance that is compassion. It is simple. It is just being ourselves. It is the removal of these things that can be negating to it, because you don't need judgment. You don't need to think you're right. Anything like that's going to obviously kind of uncenter it. It is all about being. It's very much like that newborn's way of just seeing the world. You can see it in the newborn eyes. That's correct. Like when you look at a picture of a newborn and that wonder is just there, and you're like, how come regular people don't look like that? They're coming through. It's like they've come through the veil, and that compassion is shining forth. And that's what I'm feeling. It's just like this radiance that you do see it. So I'm loving that look at the newborn's eyes, because then you're feeling it, and it's so much more than the words. It's like, oh yeah, there's something there. I can feel it. So it's a return to that grace by which we're all initiated straight from the absolute into beingness. And it's the activation point, which is pure love coming into our being, not just our human body, but our true spiritual soul, ourself. And that's what we're driven by. It's like the momentum is kind of like a compassion force. It's like driving us to be. It's the creative impulse, but from the purest place of just pure love.
There was a second little part, like a paragraph or so, 30 seconds, that I'll follow up on that longer passage. And it's just let go to expand your own awareness level. See how when you let go, you become lighter and free. Your energy brightens and you feel alive. Believe, just believe, trust this is so and it will be so. This is what faith, religious or non-religious faith, is about. Not knowing in life while letting go and loving. Compassion to others only happens when it is first applied by you to yourself to release your ego and to embrace more openness and love in the now. Find compassion in all that you see. Breathe compassion into all that you do. Believe in all and be loved to all, and know that we angels are here for you always. We are here not just in name, but in action. Use us.
Yes, and I love that. And I was getting that this is going to be our most important message and path forward in this next year, 2025. If I was looking at like what does humanity need? This is it. It's compassion. It's a return to this. So we're right on track. I mean, talking about it and bringing it front and center like this. I also feel that the Mandela effect is something I've been writing about, and that's on the thinking side. When I get these coughs, then it's my guidance saying, go into say more about this. Like, okay, because honestly, I love where we're going with the compassion, and I could do the whole show about that. It is that important. And I think just saying, like, this is the key. If everyone just writes down that word, copies whatever resonates, puts it up someplace, you can see it every day. This is going to be for 2025. We need to remember that we are compassion, no matter what's happening or seems to be happening, and make that each of our individual commitment to stay in that place of radiance. And from there, it guarantees success, is what it does. And I'm all about that. Yes, 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 yes.
That was big. um,
Yeah.
Yeah, no drama, just drama is what I had earlier when you were talking about the drama stuff. Can we recircle back and have
Yes.
you approach it all over again? Somebody just came in, they saw you on Next Level Soul and three other big shows you've been on. They
Yes.
know your background, your pedigree, and best-selling works and stuff like that. But they're also thinking about like either James Van Praagh, Joe Dispenza. They're like, oh, all these people are talking big. I don't know about these baby steps. Can you simplify this how, and this is the last aspect of this, there's nothing to lose, nothing to gain, and it's the classic treasure map with the X on the map that's the treasure, except you're not going anywhere. You're going here because you're the treasure. Can you cover how this isn't about trying? It's not like a normal self-help course.
No, it's not about trying at all. That's a good point. Thank you. Yeah, what we're actually talking about for people who meditate, I think they know what we're doing. So they'll understand the idea of being. as a goal, that there can be this awareness beyond the egoic self, beyond the masks that we wear and the posturing we do about saying I'm this or I'm an author or that. I'm a whatever you define yourself as, mother, daughter, friend, so on and so forth. These roles are not who we are. So meditators know this. What we're talking about now for people who maybe they don't meditate is getting into okay, this I want to make it possible for someone who's a thinker and not a meditator necessarily that often, and they just feel like things are weird, so I'm watching this weird show. Great, we're glad you're here. Okay, so what the next step is recognize that there is a sense of I-ness that we each have about ourselves. And we have that, we now know there are neurons in the brain, neurons in the heart, neurons in the gut. So we're thinking with all these levels of being, and sometimes we feel it, like we might get cold feet, or we might get a weird gut feeling before making an investment or making a choice or anything. Like even going to see a friend, we might feel like, oh, don't go right now. And then like, okay, now it's okay to go. And so these are reading those inner sense of beingness. That's what we're really talking about. And so anybody can just start by reading yourself and letting yourself listen to these levels of awareness within. And then from there, this is kind of a meditation, but it's an easy one to just start with. If you contemplate making a choice, this or that, imagine holding them in each hand and see how they're feeling. Do they feel different? Is one more enjoyable and the other one feels maybe yuckier? Then that's perfect. You're on track. And so we're talking about that. And then the beingness, that's what we're really saying. What if we as beings are a little different than we've ever imagined? And you can think about yourself from that eternal, infinite sense. What if you are eternal? What if you are infinite? What if the real you is not just the neurons in the brain, the neurons in the heart, the neurons in the gut, but what drives you? And you can see it if you've ever seen a dead body, the spark is gone, the light's gone, they're not there, whether it's a pet or any kind of loved one. And you know that who they really are was what activated and animated them. So that's the being. And it's a complete return to the spiritual true being is what we're talking about. And that is true compassion when you go into it fearlessly and you do it fully and you've completely removed all the layers of thinking I'm a human, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, whatever. And just rid yourself of all that and just know I'm just being like I've been born in this moment. I just came into this world right now and I'm here. And that's perfect with no judgment, no expectation, no goals. I'm just feeling. So this is this is one way to do it without getting into heavy meditation. For the meditators, so many wonderful paths are possible.
If anybody wants, I'll put up the photo of Joy, the pink ball light, and people can see a little bit of pink light on their eyelids, even a geometric pattern, galactic coding, Sanskrit. Catch what you'll allow yourself to catch, or at least feel a vibe up and down your back. And I'll tell one dad joke because if you're laughing, you're letting go. And it's a holiday dad joke. So it's Santa's reindeer, Blitzen, Dancer, just those two. Why do they drink so much coffee, Blitzen and Dancer? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. But leave your eyes closed, breathe more with your mouth open, and just see if you can feel at least light pass through you. Letting go is letting go. Everything else is details. But if you want to see light on your eyelids, you can. And Cynthia, if you want to close your eyes, you can just have your soul light come in, like an aurora borealis or other.
Yes.
And then another message that's you, but your biggest you for all of us. And people can see her aura on her right now. If you want to put your hand on your heart, just ask the universe. If you have to play pickleball in 2 days and you want to hit a winner, ask Joy to jump in your arm. But it's not to like win tournaments. It's just to have fun, let go. No one gets hurt. But you can ask for extra help to get past what you think your sensory limits are and then expand a little in the moment.
Well, this is a great time for humanity to be aware of who we really are. And each and every one of us now has this opportunity to feel within this intrinsic sense of beingness, to activate this compassion, this love that we genuinely have, and to start seeing through to the core of each and every one of us around us. to recognize that we can know and feel the truth of this love, which is far greater than any misunderstandings or communication mishaps that seem like can happen sometimes. So you can see through that. You can recognize no matter what it seems like, everyone actually loves each and every one of us. That is who we really are. We are made from love. We are love. We are compassion. And this infinite eternal beingness that we spring forth from is here to assist us at this time in actually creating and recreating the daily reality we see around us because we are shaping it. We're dreaming everything into existence right now. And it doesn't need to feel scary. It's a responsibility that's shared with all of us together. Humanity is a collective. Those of us who are holding fast and firm to radical optimism are doing our best to keep this entire humanity evolutionary process on track with joy, with love, with compassion. And because we have such a great team of ourselves, all of us joined together right now, we are unstoppable. Success is absolutely assured. There's no possibility of failure, just learning steps along the way. And this activation point of compassion and love is absolutely necessary and also simultaneously a guarantee that we have already succeeded in the future and that future success is in fact even now guiding us forward. And you can feel it. I can feel it. We can all feel it. This means that there will be a return to pure respect and love for each and every one of us. And also, this is going to be a great awakening in terms of new technologies for people that love that stuff. We'll have lots of it. It'll be an awakening for extraordinary revelations for people that love that kind of revelatory stuff. Some people do, some people don't. It's going to be exciting. And this is the awakening point right now. We are in it. So thank you and welcome to the dawning of the fifth age. Thank you for making it possible. Thank you for guaranteeing the success of the great return of Shambhala. It's happening now. And we're seeing it with all the technologies, both internal, external, and some of them being revealed in traditional ways, although the results are anything but traditional results. Humanity's ready, and we are ready to come together cooperatively with that awareness that there's no more room for jealousy. We're just choosing collectively, we're going to let it go. We know that each one of us is perfectly aligned with what we're all doing. We have perfect love and respect. And just as I, Cynthia, wish truly, genuinely wish the best for each and every one of us, that's the only way that we can live heaven on earth. And that's what we're summoning and calling forth. Those who don't wish this, they'll get something different. They get free will too. Don't need to worry about them. If they're not wishing the best for everyone, they're on a different path. And that's a learning path, and it'll be fine. So there's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be sad about. Just an awareness that we're growing together and this infinite eternity that we each have intrinsic connection to is the guiding force, this ultimate high level wisdom that you can see the evidence of in your life. If you look for it, you'll see synchronicities, you'll see meaningful coincidences, you'll see evidence of this constant uplifting quality that's constantly happening, constantly guiding each and every one of us, that got your attention, that's going to continue to guide and protect each and every one of us, bringing us together as we retain our individuality and as we improve our ability to feel compassion, to feel empathy, to feel love, and most of all, to keep living the answer to collectively and individually, how good can it get?
I think I just yawned 6 times on the show. It's a record out of 280 shows taped. I've never yawned more. I'm releasing. It's good. I'm going to show a little light and tell another dad joke in just a second, but you can get beyond my light first stage. Second stage, ask the universe to make something for you. People have been getting everything from like a hologram to an object to a vortex to flowers, butterfly, hummingbird, blah, blah, blah. but you get a dad joke most importantly, and that's the best part because you get to let go. So Bert and Ernie Sesame Street, you don't have to remember who's who. Bert offers Ernie ice cream, punchline coming, and I'll repeat it. But just see a little bit of color light between my fingers. It's universal consciousness. You're seeing on everything and everyone already. Bert offers Ernie ice cream. What's Ernie say? Sure, Bert. And as you're laughing, you're letting go. That's all there is for a degree of difficulty, like yawning, smiling, laughing. You don't wonder about the cup of coffee, you just drink it. It's the world's best cup of coffee. What do you see between my fingers, Cynthia, for light?
Oh, I just see it's very interdimensional. Started off, I was seeing this beautiful sort of a sky electric blue, and then it started interweaving with, there was some rainbow stuff going on. And then a torsion field was developing very harmoniously with natural characteristics, very sweeping arcs, very beautiful radial symmetry. And like I said, it's very multidimensional. It's not just in the regular. I mean, I'm seeing a flat 2 dimensions. My mind imagines three, but then I feel, oh my gosh, this is 4, 5, 6, 7 dimensions. You're showing a very powerful toroid shape. It's coming into it's hard to even describe it, but it feels like it's activating a flow point for each of us to benefit from. Those of us that need energy can feel it and find it. Those that need guidance can feel it, find it. Those who need protection can feel it and find it. It's all here.
Okay. And then there was a point to all that, although I go really vacuous and I can remember the point. Oh, so picture this idea, which is not happening, but it would be cool. And I think it would be the gentlest way for mankind to just sort of own what they got. You own your flow. You're making decisions all day long and you're like shooting energy bolts everywhere. Your life force, your flow, the universal love. But imagine if everyone woke up one morning and you could see the light on everyone else. And if they were BSing you, you have to go do a real estate deal. You're in Taiwan, you have 40 different groups. You got to pick the right business partner. Three of them are dimmer light. Oh, that's not good. We don't want to partner with them. It would change a lot. At least for some of us, we'd think twice before we'd be fibbing a little bit. And
Yes.
you'd find that it would resonate better and you'd have more fun if you spoke closer to the reality. That'd be cute. So I've been seeing your aura during the show, and there was maybe one last point back to radical optimism and unbridled enthusiasm. Uh, and if there's nothing to lose and nothing to gain here, so move past seeing the negative. Every single person watching and every person you know, whether they want to own it or not, has unlimited beingness to them or suchness. What's the reminder there that you really do have no limits? It's not like the Geico commercial though with the Pinocchio. You have no limits. You have no limits. And then the nose goes out. He gets to this one guy and he's like, clearly the guy's sweating. He's got limits. Okay, so what do we do with this whole big message? How can we
Mhm.
just live it more daily in baby steps?
Yeah, my favorite baby step is just start the day asking the cosmos, how good can it get? And then how good can I get? And I like to also then bring in how God can it get? How God can I get? So I'm actually doing a baby step, but just letting myself know that I'm the one choosing today, and that is what I'm choosing. And it will be baby steps because I know I like things gentle. I don't like to get pushed off a cliff and then like swim. Like that was a bit much. I'd rather dip one toe in at a time and just enjoy the waves and ripples, you might say. I'm not so much a body surfer. But anyway, it's okay to be cautious. And then for those who love the body surfing, you're just going to jump right in there. You know what you're doing. So everybody gets their own path that way. So to me, that's perfect. I know it's for me. How good can I get? How God can I get today? Show me. And I know with full confidence I can start seeing the difference on the days that I remember to do all of that and really call it in with full intent and passion and purpose. Those days are so much better. And so that's a little scientific experiment, again, for those who are thinking a lot and they want to come along on this journey with us. They're watching the news, they're seeing weird stuff happening, so-called drones and everything. And they just feel like, okay, what if this is our space cousins? How do I catch up? What if this technology is happening? Yeah, then how do I catch up? You can just very simply ask, how good can I get? How God can I get if you're open to that? And what amazingly happens is you'll start seeing energy fields, the stuff that Michael's talking about. You'll have that ability. It'll just be like, how did this develop? Because you're calling in these intrinsic superpowers that we have. And I do have charts of that in my new book, The Mandela Effect and Its Society, Awakening from Me to We, because it's all about this shared oneness with retaining subjective consciousness and each having our own unique abilities. It's indigenous in a way. It's kind of taken us back to our human roots in like the best possible way. And there is quantum physics behind it, which not getting into all that right now, but it's not necessary.
Um, I'll put Thich Nhat Hanh up because he has something beautiful that, with your permission, you'll relay. But why settle for just boomerang relaying of love and connecting of love? So that's cool. Why not get like a whatever the metal things are that move in the wind on a Vietnamese Buddhist temple that make music, and also
Ah,
catch an incense from that country in the temple thing.
like
Temple,
like tingsha. Are you thinking
yeah, thank you. And
tingsha's?
yeah, in the air, you're going to hear it and catch the incense smell from Vietnam, but hear his voice ring true. And he has a great point or a reminder, a reminder. And what are you getting, Cynthia?
I'm feeling that when you get down to our core element, when you take away it's like when you're not your body, you're not your being. It's like the Diamond Sutra. And he wrote a brilliant book about it. But that's what I'm feeling, the whole Diamond Sutra thing that you just take away. I'm not a lifespan, I'm not a being. And you might think that's crazy. What are you saying, Cynthia? Because I am the observer of all that. So I know I'm not a lifespan. I know I'm not a body, I'm not a being. And so this is that I'm just zooming through the Diamond Sutra, but it's realizing when all of what you think you are is gone and you're still there. That's like the greatest gift, and that's the being. This is the diamond awareness that sees through all that is. It's the ultimate truth to see with that diamond clarity. Um, which it's a Zen koan, like one hand clapping. Like, how can I still be here if I'm not my being, my physical body, if I'm not a lifespan, if I'm not any of this? What the heck? Yes, you're still there. Yes, you're still there. And we need you just as you are, and you're perfect. And from that inner truth, it's impossible. When you can hold that, you can no longer be deceived, and you'll always see exact truth everywhere at the deepest level. And it's hard to even talk about it at that level because it's like the Tao that can be named is not the Tao. You get into that stuff. And it means that whatever truth boat we're on it for a while, and then we outgrow that truth boat. And you know what? That's what I feel like Thich Nhat Hanh is showing us right now. Like you humans, you're on a truth boat, and don't worry when the truth crumbles and what you thought you knew is gone. Another boat's going to show up, and you'll just have a series of boats. At some point, you won't need any of the boats, and then you'll be what's called enlightened. But in the meantime, another boat is coming, and hang in there, hang tight. And it's all just illusions until you get to that ultimate illusion, that ultimate knowingness. When you understand what I'm saying, you're not your lifespan, you're not your body, you're not your being, you're not. I know that's like, what? But when you get there, then you're there and you don't need the boats. And you've got that diamond truth consciousness.
There's Joshu, who has all these sayings. So it's usually a student runs up to the teacher to prove that they're ready to graduate from class or the whole program and hang out their own Zen shingle and start teaching themselves. So a student runs up to the teacher, the master, and says, "What about it when I seek to be Buddha?" And the teacher says, "What a tremendous waste of energy." Now, this isn't a quitter, it's a sharp student. So he's got a quip, a retort, a quick comeback. He says, "Well, what about it when I don't waste energy?" And the teacher says, "Then, in that case, you are Buddha." Okay, so I think we'll do the Pink Joy Sutra or the Joy Sutra or the Pink Sutra. We're going to make one up if you're game. And here's our volunteer as well as Cynthia Sue Larson, best-selling author, transformational guide and speaker, long time now. Uh, coming to us from Berkeley, California. Please like, subscribe, comment, and put an emoji down if you're shy. That's cool. And it's the only way other people are going to get to see this and experience it. But here's Joy, an angel who's Joy. She's pink light. Here you've got this, Cynthia. It's a 5-second thing. You can put your hand out like you're getting 50 bucks.
Mm.
You don't have to do it on screen if she tells you to do it on the screen, though. I don't know. But see pink light in your hand when you do, bring her in for a hug, or let her do something extra and do whatever it was. You were saying really complex words, some of which I could follow when I was doing this. She'll do extra for you in your palm, and it's going to have a greater meaning that as an X physics type, you'll be able to, and you know how to use big words for the whole quantum field and the galactic stuff. Can you put your hand out, let her do her thing, and she'll do something extra? I'm not looking your way at all to stay out of your field. And anybody who needs extra help at home, you can wait and feel the energy build up in your hand with your eyes shut if you're more comfortable. But when you hear ready or bells or a whistle, kiss on the cheek, touch on the shoulder, look down, and you'll be startled. Some people will pull away right away. It's too much the first time. But just feel comfortable with this. This is more like Bambi, the Disney movie, than it is like anything else you're going to see on Amazon Prime. And just to buy her a little more time, we had amazing Australian actor Ian Stenlake on this series. He's in Sea Patrol, Captain Mike Flynn. He's also does lots of Broadway or musicals down under. So do check out that episode by him. Check out Cynthia's first time on the show. Planning on having her back if she'll, acquiesce and join us again. I love having her on. And what are you getting, Cynthia, in
I'm
your
getting, yeah,
yeah.
Joy is just so, I feel like she's so much a part of my life. I feel like I've been calling on Joy quite a bit. So I feel like, yeah, it feels like me. It feels like I'm so welcoming with Joy that I feel like I would love Joy to be part of me, and Joy accepts. It's like there's such a union that happens here, and it's so beautiful and it's so unexpected. I think that's the key. When you were saying you might look down and be very shocked, I think the shock can be just the realization, this is for me. Yes, this is for you. This is for each of us to receive and for each of us to live this. And then it's just our monkey mind sometimes that can be doing the pushback, like, oh no, I can't have joy right now because this, that, the other. And that's nonsense. So it doesn't matter about any of that. Joy is your birthright. So I'm just here to help you recognize that you can feel joy is you. It's so much you that you can accept, receive this, and start breathing with joy. Just being that abundance of joy that just flows through you naturally. And it's not fake. It's not putting on an act. It's not a mask at all. It's inside. Joy is an inside experience. And she's here for each of us. It really ties in with the compassion. When you've got joy, then the compassion is a lot easier. So it's going to be, and it also makes it a lot easier to laugh off these so-called dead ends I was discussing briefly earlier. If something like envy comes in, it can be ha ha, like that's ridiculous. And which may sound outrageous because so many of us humans get swept up in cultural appropriation of these seven deadly sins. Like, oh, you should be jealous. Nonsense. You should be joyous. You should be compassionate. These envy, the lazy, all of these strong emotions that don't really have anything helpful for each of us. They can actually be gently laughed away. Just like it's just silly. It's just funny. It's like a pratfall, like Bambi, like Thumper watching Bambi trying to stand up, and Bambi can't quite staggering around on those little spindly legs and goes splat, on the ice because it's hard to stand up on something slippery. And Thumper's just laughing and laughing and laughing, and just knowing you're not laughing at anyone, you're just laughing to be joy. It's the experience of it. So, and it's yours. It's ours. It's each and every one of our birthright. It's who we really are.
I have one more passage from Angels, and we'll get you going one big time again, and then we'll start to wrap it up. We might do one interactive exercise, but this is from Angels. It's entitled, What's Up with Mankind? Why Angels Now? Awareness for mankind is on the horizon. Call it a spiritual awakening if you wish. It's a chance for all to grow. Mankind is ready for more unconditional love and compassion for all. And now and more compassion by all for all is needed. Mankind is ready for change from rat race mode. Happiness is obtained in the absence of ego. Ego is afraid to be vulnerable, to let go, and to be in the unknown. Again, there's nothing to lose and nothing to gain. Move past seeing the negative. Compassion can be taught through one's actions. How? Slowing down would do a world of wonder for most people. Doing it consistently is where the problems and opportunities lie. So stay present. Start right now. Letting go means less thinking. Do not get lost in perceived roles, tasks, ego, etc. Being in the moment is to do compassion for all. For individuals, an egoless path would be great, but it's just not realistic. Allow ego to serve as a reminder when it pops up. A reminder for what? You decide. How about a reminder to breathe? How about a reminder to enjoy each moment as it comes? Believe that all moments can be the same. Whether it's a moment at work or a moment looking at nature, all moments are the same and peaceful. Only thinking something can interfere with this. Likewise, there are not separate paths for mankind or separate worlds for individuals. One is one. Last little bit. Through awareness and owning the consequences of one's thoughts and actions, a person begins to see how all of life is truly interconnected in one. Faith in all can lead to a change in mankind. This is the path for all of man. And this is about bringing peace and joy to all. And I'll leave it at that.
Beautiful. I'd like to put the invitation, just add a little bit of positive spice. Like the ego can also, if it feels like it, ask, how good can it get in every situation, even if it looks like, but this is bad. Yeah, go ahead and ask it then. Or I'm feeling terrible. I can't ask that. Yes, you can. Yeah, ego can ask that. And if you're feeling good, it's like, I don't need it now. Ask it anyway. Yeah, just keep raising it, raising it, raising it, because I just love that. And I love what you said about we're all going together too. It's true. So you don't need to worry about getting left behind. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to get left behind. Thank you for mentioning. You didn't say it exactly like that, but it really, I love how you touched on that. And I could feel a collective sigh of relief, like, well, thank God, because I think some people are afraid, am I going to get left behind? No, no one's going to get left behind. Everyone's coming together. And then you may say, but what about the Hopi prophecy rock, little monkey mind? Like, what about this? What about that? It's just to think of it like some people are going to first grade, some are going to second grade, but we're all together, we're at the same school.
Mhm.
That's about the best way I can describe it. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine, no matter what it looks like, and no matter which group you think you're. And then people are wondering which group. Don't worry about what group you're in. This is that monkey mind. I just love what you said, Michael, because this is the key. Let go of all that and just be love, be joy, be compassion. Ask how good can it get, no matter what. And but most of all, love, feel that joy no matter what. This is so important right now. We're at the gateway. We're starting to see evidence of things that show breakaway civilization, cousins from other realms. Yeah, interdimensionals, sure. Extraterrestrials, yes. All of that and finding out things are not what we thought. That's perfect. That's good. And I'm not being woo-woo airy-fairy here. I've had dealings with some of these interdimensionals for decades. So we're not talking about that exactly right now. But what they reminded me of the other day? They reminded me something I forgot when I first, in lucid dreams, was on board various alien spaceships on a project, 1987, way before I was doing anything I'm doing right now. And what I brought in was this whole compassion, this joy, this love. And I would look at all these interdimensional extraterrestrial beings with love. And that's so important. I can't even I can't overemphasize it. It's the most important thing. It's not airy-fairy. Imagine that we're all transparent to our brethren. We are transparent. Imagine that they know what we're thinking and feeling. Don't be embarrassed about it. They do. And we actually know that about each other too, right now. We just have been denying it for centuries. But thanks to Michael's show and what you're doing, Michael, and the guests you have, it's becoming much more obvious that we've always known what's really true. We can see each other and we're here for each other. We really are love. It's not just airy-fairy. This is the way forward. This is true strength. There's a reason the word courage has cour in it. It's of the heart from French. It's Latin, and it's so important. It's everything. So that's going to be our way forward for all of us. And no matter what you're looking at, and I didn't talk about what happened in 87. You might think, still, you don't know what you're saying. Yes, I do. I was quality assurance on a global mind redesign project. My job was pass or fail mind, not brain, but mind designs for humans to have more empathy, more compassion, more creativity, but not go crazy. And so I just passed or failed, pass or failed. And it's fun to tell the passes, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, like pass, pass, pass. And then guess what? The reptilian, oh, I have to tell them, I don't want to, I'm just saying, I don't want to tell them that they failed. Like, no, that's part of the job. Like, oh my God. So I am telling you absolute truth here. I did come with an open, pure heart. That was the only way to talk. And the other thing I know for sure, you don't need to badmouth any group of anybody, humans, anybody. There are going to be good ones everywhere. So whatever you think you don't need to think like, oh, they're the bad ones. No such thing. Keep your heart pure. And that's going to be the true strength.
And I had an experience for 2 summers now. Human brain, human thinking. Welcome to your human thinking. It's all okay. Charlotte said 7% less human thinking daily is the Olympic gold medal for us all. And I've gotten a calculator out 5 times. I still can't remember how much that is. I think it's between an hour and a half and 2 hours and 15 minutes a day to just lighten up. Read poetry, hug a tree, hug your dog, take a nap, anything, shower, exercise. There's 1 million ways to be here, but there's 40 million thoughts that block it. So I'm getting in a pool at the suggestion of angels to look at the little light wave patterns for 2 whole summers. And that's in Texas. So it's like April 1st to October 1st. And I made it often every day, but sometimes 3 times in a day. And of course, finances would be one of the big things that pops up. There's a big but all the time. And let's do the big enchilada. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Everyone can agree to that on paper. But when it comes to your personal life, a but will pop up. So I'm asking about the bank account for the 4,000th time. And an Arcturian stepped in, trying to do a Bob Dylan imitation and trying to hack human humor. And it was successful because it was really peaceful. It doesn't matter about the words, but he said, Mike, relax. He's like, we've seen the first page of your story here in this lifetime and the very final page. We've seen the whole story, and you have so many loving beings supporting you. You're okay, was the message, and just relax, be in the moment. The more you can enjoy the ride is what the actual success of it all is. And then everything else you're dreaming big and want to bring in happens. And I had to mention that little story because I was laughing after that. I'm like, oh my God, duh. But then, wait an hour and you've forgotten the message, sort of. And then every few weeks you remember it. And welcome to being human. So,
Great
yeah.
summary. I love how down to earth you are because that's it, isn't it? And I love what you said about the 7% human and make sure to hug. I love hugging trees, get outside, be in nature, joke with a squirrel, talk to a blue jay, just really engage. And if it's winter where you are, maybe the nature's different, but nature's always there. And thank you. Those are such beautiful, beautiful
Have
reminders.
one final interaction, and that's I'll put my hand up in Texas if you'll put your hand up in Berkeley. Only our highest intent. It's really going to be angels running the show.
Yes.
But just use an adjective for what you feel for the vibe.
Yeah.
And then I'll whoosh you 3 times, but it'll be their light or our light, unconditional love light, rainbow light is what I was trying to say. Medium, small, medium, and large. But you can go large for all of them if you want. It's up to you. It's going to be their whooshing. So what do you feel first this way? And people at home can put up their hands, and it doesn't matter if it's 2030 in Christchurch in Berlin or Tokyo. But the point of this exercise is, love and above. And if
Mhm.
you got thinking, park it at home, just ask for just pure heart. What do you got there, Cynthia? What do you feel?
Feels awake. It feels awakening. It feels activating. It's very vibrant. It's very vibey, dancey. It feels like moving, like flowing.
And then I'm busting out not a lighter, but a ping pong paddle because I'm going to whoosh you light. And my microphone today is down here. So I'm going to blow Hawaii in the air around you. And if you want to catch a little sea spritz here, again, blame angels, don't blame Canada, blame joy. Okay, here we go. And you
Lovely.
should feel that on your person. What was that like?
It felt kind of puffy. It felt like a cloud, like almost like cotton candy kind of a feeling, but with so much love and joy. Felt
Mm.
very refreshing um and sweet, really sweet.
And then people at home can just turn up the volume, 1970s tuner or the stereo component, the receiver, there's another word, but just turn that up a couple notches. And here comes a medium and extra rainbow light. If you want to start catching glitter around you or even symbols or little flashes of cosmic light, interdimensional light, here it goes. Was that a little different?
Very different.
Good.
That was like it felt like a little ball. It was like a little puff ball with it was soft, but it had texture to it. Yeah. And really,
Now,
really radiant and really fun.
for the heads up on the last one, she'll say something about you can go big, go home. You're already home, so go big. But she'll, any personal request, make it to her. You guys go big. We're not used to living without limits. We're not used to just asking for, like, hey, I want to dream big. I don't even know how, so make it big. Like
Yeah.
walking into a restaurant, you know the owner, and those are angels, and the maitre d', the waiters, the chefs. Just yell, make it so. You don't need the menu. Make it nice, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, here comes the big one. And a little Maui on the nose, sea spritz on the nose, and a little wind in your hair. Peppermint patty commercials from the 80s. Here we go.
Wow. That was a real Kundalini hit. It's like really woo.
And that was okay too, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. Super refreshing. It felt like that was the one that smelled like sea spray in a really good way. Real tremendous energy. Kind of like you're on the surfboard now. Like I'm not good on surfboards either, but maybe but it feels like I could be with that kind of energy. Like
And
I can do it.
people can meditate at home and just say, "Hey, take me to Hawaii and go. Let me go surfing." You'll just know how to surf.
Yeah.
Angels and loving beings will make it so that you just surf like a pro. You'll have
Mhm.
the best time, but make sure you take a time out after to sit on the beach with your guides and just have a chat. You can even see loved ones that way, but just what we allow for most of us, it's just this much. But eventually you can get to this much. So, yeah. Cynthia Sue Larson, if you
Oh,
had to
thank
leave us
you.
with one last mantra, but it's not your usual patented, how good can it get?
Mhm.
What's the new one that could fit on a t-shirt or front and back that is your second favorite or newest favorite as of this moment? And here's Joy just for some sparkly Disney CGI magic.
Uh, yeah, I move with joy, compassion, and love today and always. I greet the world this way.
Ah, I love it. Cynthia, thank you for being on the show. Love you. Thank you very much.
Love you too. Thank you so much.